I'm Peter Dow, and I'm head of geography at DLD. The purpose of this webinar really is just to elaborate a little bit of what geography is about and where it can lead you. I decided after discussing things with Sarah Watkins, our deputy head, that lots of the people out there weren't sure about geography, or they had misconceptions about what geography was. Many of them thinking that it was, I speak to some students, I say, why are you doing geography? They tell me, no, they've done it before. It's all about capitals, countries, and things like that. And it may well be in some countries, but it's certainly not the case at DLD. At DLD, we follow the Cambridge syllabus, and I'm going to show you a couple of slides. I've kept it short, but I'll show you a couple of slides to give you a flavor of what we actually study and where this can take you and why it's important to study geography. Now, I've got to thank my AS class who helped me put the slides together. I put slides together and I showed them that they said, no, it's rubbish. And they've decided that they're going to add some fancy transitions in that. So I'm not taking the blame for those, but they're good. It has helped a lot. Okay, so there's the first thing. It's just saying geography is a multidisciplinary approach to things, and it's a subject that's well respected by employees and at universities alike. All right, now this is the GCSE syllabus, and these are all the things we study over 2 years. So you can see it's very, very diverse. We've got, in geography, we normally divide things into human geography and physical geography. The human geography is more on how man interacts with the environment, and the physical geography, I suppose, in a nutshell, it's lots of the physical processes that happen around us. You can see that in the human geography, there's things like we study population, migration, settlement, development, food production. The list you can see goes on. And we also look at rivers, coast, the weather, earthquakes and volcanoes. So we look at the natural environments and that as well. One of the big things as well is the skills. We've got to learn a lot of skills, how to interpret tables, how to present data, and lots of other geographical techniques. And there's also a fieldwork investigation involved where people discover for themselves. They make observations in the environment and record data. All right, so that's GCSE. The AS level, we've got, again, it's divided into physical and human geography. And we look at things like hydrology and fluvial geomorphology. That is basically how water shapes the landscape, both above ground and underground. We also look at atmosphere and weather and rocks and weathering. So these are all the physical kind of things. Human geography, again, they study population, how it changes, how it can be controlled, various different aspects of it. Migration, why people move, how they move, when they move, what problems they encounter, and so forth. And settlement dynamics, how settlements change over time. And then into the, look at that transition, very smart looking, into A level. You have options in A level. We study 4 topics. We take 2 from this list of physical geography topics, and we take 2 from the advanced human geography options. The ones we actually study, or we've been studying, is we look at coastal environments and hazardous environments. And for the advanced human, the ones we're looking at this year are production, location, and change, and environmental management. Now, if you want to know more about what's actually studied within the topic, it would take ages to explain, but you can have a look on the Cambridge website. What would it be? Cambridge International, CIE website. And this is just some of the quotes that I picked up from around the web when searching, what can you do with geography? How is geography? Is it respected, etc.? And you can see some of the things that I've got back from various websites. It says geography education is so highly respected that sectors such as finance and business are keen to snap up graduates for the analytical and critical thinking skills. And that's the important thing, because we look at human and physical aspects in the world, we see how these interact with each other. So you have geographers have a very broad picture of things, and they're able to see how different kind of disciplines interact and affect each other as well. Let's move on to the second one. It says geography graduates rank amongst the top subjects for starting salaries after graduation, earning well above the average versus graduates from other relevant subjects such as history, technology, and biogeography. So employment opportunities for geographers are good. A geography degree will set you up with transferable skills for the workplace, such as analyzing data, independent working, and detailed research. Lots of geographers will actually go into jobs that you do not think of as geography. And it's because of these transferable skills that they learned to work with data and come to conclusions and analyze data and make decisions. And then just at the GCSE level, is geography a respected GCSE? Employers and universities see geography as a robust academic subject, rich in skills, knowledge, and understanding as a subject linking the arts and the sciences. It's highly flexible in terms of what you can combine it with, both at GCSE and at A level. And then lastly, just the last slide. Here we go. Here's another transition. Well, not quite last. This is just something that I picked up from the web. If you do a quick search, and it's about the kinds of jobs you can do. And this is not exhaustive by any means. Lots of them are linked directly with geography, maybe something like a hydrologist or a urban planner, but others you might think are not so linked with geography. But in fact, that you learn lots of skills that are useful. For example, they've got housing policy analysis, health service planner. So it's, as I said, there's lots of careers that are open to it. In fact, when I left school, I think originally I wanted to study either, I was going to be either a hydrologist, meteorologist, a geologist, or a forester. I landed up actually initially going into geophysics, as it happened, before I decided, no, I'll do teaching. But there you go. Maybe I should have stuck with geophysics. Would have earned a lot more money. But it's not all about the money. Okay, and here's some quotes just to end off. Geography is the spatial geography, helping us all to better understand the world's people, places, and environment, and the interaction between them, whether at the local, national, or global scale. And that's from Dr. Richard Gardner, who's the director of the Geographical Society. Here's one from President Clinton. Geography information is critical to promote economic development, improve our stewardship of natural resources, and protect the environment. And then lastly, one from Michael Palin. You may have seen some of his documentaries on television. Geography illuminates the past, explains the present, and prepares us for the future. What could be more important than that? And as I said, it's going to be a short presentation just to give you an idea of what we actually do, that it's not about rivers, it's not about places and their names, etc., but it's actually a very wide discipline. So if there's any questions, I'll take them. Otherwise, I'm going to end there.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Peter. Only one question that's just come through. And that's just, do you see a growing trend among kind of interest in of students taking geography kind of forward? I guess kind of following that sort of environmentalism and sustainability movement that's going on at the moment.
I think nationally there is, and there's lots of jobs that are, some are even being created, where we have a lot more focus on sustainability nowadays. And basically sustainability and the environment. I actually had an email a couple of days ago, and it was one of my ex-pupils who's actually started working from a company that they're looking at carbon emissions and things like that, and she's taking up quite a leading role within the company, looking at how they're going to become more environmentally friendly and reduce carbon output and things like that. So I think as people are becoming more and more aware of the harm that's being done to the environment, there's more and more of these kind of environmental opportunities opening up.
Brilliant, fantastic.
On the other hand, and this is the purpose of why I want to speak to you guys today, is that I think a lot of overseas students coming in, it's not always a popular choice of subjects. I think lots of them already have ideas of what they want to do, be it business, or perhaps they're from a family that runs businesses, so they're interested in that. Others move to the sciences with the hope of being doctors or dentists or whatever the case may be, or some of them move to the arts, photography, graphics, etc. I think geography is certainly, I feel, neglected somewhat in many schools, but I think that's going to grow as time goes on as well. I think, as I said, I think a lot of the time it's through ignorance of what it's actually about. But yeah, I think it's going to become a more and more important subject in many of the schools as well.
Fantastic, yeah, good stuff. There's nothing else that's come through in terms of the Q&A, so I think we're probably good to wrap up. What I will just kind of say again is that this webinar will be available on YouTube, so people can refer back to it. And as I say, it is part of a webinar series that we are running here at DLD. So the next webinar will be taking place next week. It's with Paul, who's our head of careers. So it's really just kind of off the back of National Careers Week and looking at kind of opportunities that kind of DLD presents in that regard. So would encourage you to join that if you haven't already signed up. Thank you very much, Peter, for your time. Thank you to everyone that has joined, and we'll wrap up there.
Okay, cheers. Thank you.
Thank you very much.